everyone. Welcome to the Golden Ratio Podcast. I am Jen, GR Mom, joined as always by GR Dad.
Hi.
How's it going, GR Dad?
Pretty good.
Excellent, excellent.
It's an unusual time of day to podcast, Jen.
Morning podcast.
I'm stone cold sober.
It's funny, I walked into the kitchen and there's this stout glass, big tall stout glass, Air Force One labeled stout glass sitting on the counter full. And I was like, wow, that's a very full undrunk beer, thinking you'd filled it up with a very dark beer last night and gone to sleep.
Coffee. Cold brew.
Cold brew in a stout glass. Pretty cool.
It's not a stout glass. It's a Hefeweizen glass.
You know what? I was thinking, I don't actually know.
But it does look like stout because it's so dark.
It does.
Fair enough. That would make it a stout glass if it has stout in it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's it. If you fill it with whiskey, it's a whiskey glass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The cocktail of the week this week is the artichoke hold.
What a great name.
Good name.
What a potentially weird drink.
It is rum, chinar, elderflower liqueur, lime juice, and orgeat, which, if you think about it, is quite close to the Getaway, an early cocktail of the week and a favorite of ours.
Still a favorite, yeah.
Yeah. Chinar is this artichoke liqueur, which doesn't taste anything like artichokes. It's like a bitter Amaro.
Artichokes are weird.
Yeah.
Have you ever eaten an artichoke where you eat the meat off the leaves?
No, it seems gross to me.
Do you dip the leaves in olive oil or the dip in the middle, and then you scrape off the little bit of meat that's on the base of the leaf, and then you go to the next leaf, and then the heart in the middle is the only thing you can actually eat.
Yeah.
But before that, I remember family dinners doing this. You scrape off all the meat from these leaves, which is a very German thing to do, actually.
I was going to say, I can absolutely see this happening in your house.
Yeah, it's like crabs. It's as much more effort to eat than you get in calories back. You're basically not meant to eat artichokes all your life.
I agree. Anyway, this would be a good drink. So if you've got some chinar.
Chinar is good stuff.
Yeah. If it weren't 9:30 in the morning, I would totally make one of these for us.
Can't drink all day if you don't start in the morning.
It's time for Administrative Corner. You love Administrative Corner.
I do.
He was taking a drink of his coffee out of the Hefeweizen glass.
Yeah.
All right. Ingo.
Yes.
You have been trying to announce this thing on Administrative Corner for 3 months, and I keep going, it's not ready to announce yet.
I know.
You can't put it on Administrative.
I just have one thing that I know that I wasn't allowed to say, and now I'm allowed to say it.
It's time. You can talk about it.
It's time. If anyone is looking at their stuffies and thinking there should be another one there, we're making a guac one.
Guaco stuffies.
Guaco stuffies with guac eyes.
Big
and guac face.
But what's the coolest part of it?
The little blauhai.
He's got his own little blauhai, and it detaches. It's like a 3-inch long little blauhai.
But is it actually it's like a blauhai stuffy with a guac attached?
Yeah, it's amazing. And so we're recording on Tuesday. On Wednesday, July 9th, the campaign for the Guaco Stuffies will go live. So there will be a link in the show notes, but it'll obviously be all over the socials. And it's just like all the other ones. There's a few weeks that you can order, and then they produce and ship them. So if you have a Golden Ratio lover in your family and you want to at Christmas give them something, you can order this now, and you'll definitely have it in time for Christmas. But it'll come in the fall.
It's going to be delayed
in
the whole thing. It could be all sorts of problems with it.
No, there's not going to be any delays.
Tariffs.
Oh, well, tariffs. Makeship actually sent, that's the company that makes them. They have a whole tariff mitigation scheme.
Oh.
Yeah. So they have.
So these are coming through a non-tariff country, perhaps?
I'm not sure how they're managing it, but they're we're working on it. So.
All right.
Anyway.
Good work, Makeship.
Guaco plushies available tomorrow.
Adorbs.
Yep. Okay. So I have 2 other items. One is the salmon hats that you wanted to talk about. but let me just tell you, the other thing that I wrote down at some point is Ingo fish.
Ingo fish.
2 words, Ingo and fish. I don't know what that is anymore. So maybe we can just talk about the salmon hats.
I think I was going to talk about the German catfish story. It's not
yes,
over.
That's it.
That is it, right?
Yes.
Yes.
You remembered.
Yes.
Sorry, so 2 fish stories.
Yes.
German catfish and salmon hat.
Start with the salmon hat because it's funny. Weird. There's not enough information about it.
Well, you need to explain what it is.
Orcas.
Yep.
Ever mysterious.
Haters of billionaires.
Giant alpha predator, scary as scary.
Mm-hmm.
There's a pod of orcas, and I don't know the details where this is.
I'll look it up while you're talking.
That has been observed wearing dead salmon as hats.
Yes.
Which is weird already. And nobody has asked the orcas why they're doing this, or the orcas have not commented. The other weird thing is they had done this like 37 years ago.
In the 1980s.
They were spotted doing this in the 1980s also, and then not doing it for a long time, and now they're doing it again.
Washington State. So
I guess just like humans, everything from the 80s is coming back again into fashion.
Yeah.
It's just like corduroys and wide-bottom jeans. For them, it's the salmon hats. Here, check out this dead salmon on my head.
Yeah.
It's weird.
Yep. It is.
Do they think it's pretty?
National Geographic has a picture.
Do they have a theory? I would trust the National Geographic theory of why they do this.
It seemed to kind of pass along multiple different members of the population. It's called a salmon hat craze.
Don't worry, it's a fad. Salmon parents, your orca kids aren't going to do this forever. It's just a phase. They're going through a phase. I've seen the theory that it's a big salmon run, and there's so much salmon that they're like keeping some for later on their heads.
This guy just says we don't know. So says the orca expert.
To save some salmon for later, and also fashion.
Well, there you go.
Salmon hats.
Salmon hats.
Why not? I'm not going to tell an orca they can't do that because they'd bite me. They'd eat me.
They could.
Yeah.
Yep.
I think I heard a statistic that an orca in the wild has never killed a human.
Oh, that's interesting.
I mean, trainers have been chomped, but then, they're keeping their orcas all
imprisoned orcas, yeah.
But for all their reputation, they haven't actually been a problem for
Wait,
humans.
do you count if they sink your mega yacht?
No.
That doesn't count.
No, eat. Like, just chomp. If you're swimming and you get chomped, they're they're
Not
better
like a
than
shark.
sharks, in other words, in some ways. Or worse. Or not as good at eating billionaires.
Okay.
The yacht thing is hilarious.
Yeah.
They're definitely on our side politically. Okay.
Catfish?
Salmon hats. Yes. Wels. WELS.
Did we talk about this last time?
We talked about the catfish, the
That's because I looked him up.
The 2-meter catfish that was shot by police.
Yes.
Well, there's an update.
Oh, I love an update.
First of all, now people are discovering big catfish at all these other lakes. Like they didn't make news before, but people are like, yeah, there's a giant catfish in this lake too. This thing's been here for 100 years. He's Big Joe. It's like this happens. But the update is 2 things. Classic, typical German. Somebody reported to the police that shot the catfish and said it's animal cruelty. So now the other police have to investigate whether this violates the animal cruelty law. Police in Germany don't have discretion the way American police do. They
to just shoot things?
No, to ignore reports and to decide what crimes they're going to look into. They actually have to prosecute all the crimes that are reported and finish off the process, right?
Yeah.
They can't just blow stuff off the way the police here can here. Police in Germany probably also can't just go to McDonald's and sit around for 3 hours. But be that as it may. So they're investigating these police. The update is, it turns out the catfish wasn't dead after he got shot. He was just passed out. The police officer shot 3 times, shot the catfish 3 times, shot at the catfish 3 times, but no bullet pierced the skin because he's shooting through the water.
I have a related story to this.
Yeah.
But please finish yours.
But one of the projectiles, it's a bullet. One of the bullets hit the catfish and knocked him out. So he's only knocked out. So then he revived at some point, and then they had to some fishermen had to catch him again with reels, and after 40 minutes, and then they killed him.
Oh my God.
So it's just like a horror movie. They're like, finally, we've got the 6-foot catfish. Wah! and then they had to recatch him, and then they did kill him. I don't know why they killed him. I guess to eat him. I don't know. So anyway, so he's Big Joe is no longer with us, but he survived being shot by the cop.
I have a dark joke for you, but I'm going to pause the podcast because I'm not sure if it's podcast material. Hang on. Okay. You guys can send me a DM and I'll tell you the dark joke.
It's censored.
Okay. Well, thank you for that fish update.
It's shocking fish updates with giant catfish causing mayhem.
All right. It's time for dog updates.
Woo!
You were gone for a few days because...
a day.
2-time Pulitzer Prize winning journalist Gwen Filosa, friend of the squad. Her dog Sergio went to see trainer Michael. She drove him up there a couple weeks ago, and Ingo volunteered to drive him back. So you popped up to Maryland.
I miss picking up dogs in Maryland, and this is a better way to do it than picking up another dog for us.
we're at a good number of dogs right now.
If anyone needs a dog picked up in Maryland, just let me know. Driven down to the Keys. I'll do it. I'll do it.
So you and Serge had a great road trip. It sounds like he was like a little angel.
He was tired from camp and pretty much slept the whole time. He was very good, and he's a good bed sleeper. He's a shy little guy still. He's for a 1-year-old. I mean, it's a shocking difference to like Zola, who's his age. How much less mischievous he is, and how much he's kind of a nice, relaxed, mellow dog. Zola, I'm looking at you.
Zola,
taking an example from your friend.
She's sleeping.
Now she is. She's listening with one ear. She's probably thinking of new mischief.
So while you were gone,
I was gone for I guess 2 nights. It was
3 days.
2 nights. Yeah.
Yeah. So I had the squad, and so Zola and Guac are the car trip partners. Like if we go into Key West, Zola and Guac ride together in the back seat. They're both very good. They love coming in the car. And so they're the only dogs who get to go.
And they're well behaved, and they generally, although Zola does some foot violations, she does step over the barrier into the front. She doesn't try to climb into the front seat or anything.
Yes. Yeah. And she's better with me because I'm like, no. And she's like, okay.
I just elbow her.
Yeah. But we're thinking about taking the dogs on a road trip soon. We'll talk about that whenever it happens. And Ella is not good in the car.
All the things we just said about Zola, it's the opposite for Ella.
She climbs everywhere and she eats everything. And I was like, we need to have a way to contain her. Ingo has put up, some of these mesh barriers in his car, but she gets through those.
All the way back.
All the way back, mm-hmm. Right? So we can put her in the cargo space and she finds her way out. And I was like, my pre-squad dog, I had 2 dogs, Pi and Kay. And Kay was like this. She was really hard to contain. And I eventually discovered this sort of barrier for the cargo space that it has 2 posts that tension between the floor and the roof. And then these kind of trombone slider things that go from one window to the other. They're horizontal. And
they have U shapes at the end, and they go all the way to the windows on either side. Yep.
And that worked great for her.
She's 100 pounds. She couldn't squeeze that well.
Yes. But it went all the way to the window, right? So it eliminates the spaces. And I'm like, I'm going to get one of those. I bet that'll work. And so I got one, and it is not as sturdy as the one that I got back in 2006. For Kay, but it was pretty good.
It's metal, and it screws in, and it tensions, and it seems pretty sturdy and tight. I mean, if I were in the back, I'd be like, I guess I'm here for now.
Yeah. So I got that, and I put it in last week, and I tossed Ella in the back, and she kind of nudged around a whole bunch and was like, fuck, I can't get out of here. And so I was going into Key West to like pick up a prescription or something, and I was getting guacanzola, and Ella
You
was
had
so
three
excited.
cars in the 3 dogs in the car, right?
Yes,
Like,
Ella was so excited. I was like, okay, you can come and we'll test out my thing. So
Yep.
guacanzola, get to go in the back seat. Ella goes in the cargo space with the barrier. And she proceeded to spend the half-hour drive into Key West fully dedicated to trying to get past that barrier. She was crying. She was digging at it. She kind of figured out there was enough space between like the top bar and the roof that she could turn her head sideways and poke it through. And then she could also
she's
lift
like
up
hanging there
one
by her
arm
neck.
and get it through. But she's like, I can't get the rest of my body through. But she tried that like 5 times. And she was like standing on it. And by the time we got to McDonald's so I could get myself a Diet Coke, she had pulled the whole thing down. Like she
It is there's no give up in her. There was no acceptance. There was no resignation. It was frantic escape.
frantic. So I pull into a parking spot at the McDonald's and I put it back
Because
up.
then you have 3 dogs in the back seat.
And her trying to climb in the front seat and like poor guac, right? And so I put it back in. Of course, like 2 minutes later, she's got it down again because she's cracked that code. And I'm like, okay, I need to contain her to get home, right? It is not safe. What do I have in the car? So I have Remy's harness, the bright orange harnesses you've probably seen in the snaps. It's like it's like a full tactical kind of harness, not just a little
Like a service
strips.
dog harness.
Yeah. So I put that on her, and then there's a leash. And so what I do is I like take the clippy end of the leash and I put it through the little wrist loop around the roll cage in the back, big bar in the
So harness
back.
to roll cage.
And
harness
I
to
wrap it
car.
around a bunch of times to shorten it up. So there's like 18 inches of leash so she can like lay down still.
So she's tethered in the back by her harness.
Yes, tethered to one side with the leash. And I'm like, okay, like this is going to work. But of course, the dog's committed. And so she's like, I'm coming in the back seat. And there's enough leash that she can get like her little head between the wall and the back seat. And so I look and like there's her little face snicking in there. And she kind of
straining against the leash.
just pulling as hard as she can, gets like her 2 little front feet most of the way up. But she can't get the rest of the way because she's tethered. And I'm like, hey. Like, I always win. No. She figures out that like, okay, I can't go forward anymore, but I can go vertical. And so I'm looking in the rearview mirror, and eventually I see like her head is down by the seat and her butt is up at the ceiling.
She's trying to do a backflip, basically.
She does a backflip
over the seat.
She does a backflip over the seat because like she can't go any further forward, but she basically puts her butt over her head to get the butt into the back seat.
She's walking her feet along the ceiling backwards.
Yes, correct.
This is crazy.
Yes. And then the problem is like she can't really get them all the way down. So she's now suspended with that leash over the seat in the harness. And so I'm like driving and then I'm like, I hear because she's choking herself to death. So I have to like pull over.
Which is not easy if you're in the harness because it doesn't go around your neck.
But she's
it's
like
not designed that
facing
way.
down a little
And
bit.
she's ridiculous.
She wasn't actually going to choke, but she was not comfortable. She was hanging by it.
Suspended by the harness.
Yeah. So I pull over at like the bike rental place and I trudge back. And I'm like really sick. I'm better now, but I had this like awful cold and I'm like, oh my God. So I get back there and I'm like, get back here in the back seat. And she's like, hi. And I'm like, I tighten the thing up one more time, so it's real short. And I'm like, you're just going to have to stand for the like 20 minutes of driving left. And like before I even close the back, she's like, I'm pretty sure, and like butts up at the ceiling again. She's like, I can do it again. And I'm like, how am I going to keep her back here? So he had a collar. So I unwind the leash once. So like to the right side, she's tethered to the right side. And then I take the collar and I put it through the roll cage on the left side and then through the harness, like a little
You're
loop on
trying
the
to
harness.
Hannibal Lecter her, basically.
Fully, like she is tethered to the right side. She's tethered to the left side. I'm like, this will hold her in the center until we get home. So
Meanwhile, she's looking at you going, hi, this is a great game.
And then she's like, like trying to can't get out. So I'm like watching as we get home. So she did remain in the back in the cargo space the rest of the way.
That's
so
pretty good.
I did win to that extent. She did manage to turn herself around and like stand up. So she had her like little head and her front paws on the back seat, but I'm like, as long as she's in the cargo space, it's fine. And And we get home, I'm like, I'm going to take a picture of this ridiculous, like, Hannibal Lecter situation for Ingo. And I open the back to take the picture, and she immediately backs out of the harness because it's like a little big for her.
Runs around the yard.
Jumps out of the car. So you got like a 3-second video of her just like slithering back out of it, and then I'm out.
She is Harry Houdini. It's amazing.
So I have come up, because I always win, I have come up with a solution, which is I found a soft crate that's exactly the dimensions of the cargo space and ordered it. So when we go on our road trip, she's going to be in a box, fully crated in a box.
I remember when we put her in the crate in the RV.
This is like a
and
little
she would just
one.
bounce it around. Like the whole crate became
like a die.
A die that she was rolling around in. I mean, she was much littler then, but normally the uncontained crate doesn't contain her at all. She's like, ooh, giant rolly ball.
Yeah, I'm just going to step on the side. Thump, that's the bottom now. Step on the side. Thump, that's the bottom now.
And repeat and get faster. Yeah.
No, she doesn't like it. So she's going to get trazodone and be crated. She'll be in my car when we do this
She'll
road
be
trip.
miserable.
Too bad.
Vocally miserable.
Other than that.
You know who's nice in the car? Sergio.
Sergio is great.
No crate required.
Everybody else is better. Like, Fetta's
yeah.
a little jumpy, but Ella's a nightmare.
Yeah, Feta settles down with Guac in the back seat, and that's okay.
No.
She's a little sleepy dog.
So there you go.
Freedom. Ella just wants freedom.
All right, so Serge is going to be our Taste of the Keys. I have the German word of the week this week.
What?
Along with an article that I would like to discuss.
What?
The German word of the week is Balkonkraftwerk.
Balkon. Sonnenkraftwerk? Oder
This is just Balkonkraft.
Balkonkraftwerk.
Balcony Kraftwerk.
Kraftwerk. That's a good pop band. Kraftwerk.
Okay.
Should I explain what it is, or should we translate it?
I'm going to read the article.
Yeah, go.
Okay. So the headline is How Germany Outfitted 500,000 Balconies with Solar Panels. And there are these little solar panels that hang off. And I had seen this because someone had tweeted, like, the thing that radicalized me was when I found out in Germany you can go basically to Costco and spend $550 and get solar panels for your house, as opposed to like this $30,000 install with all this permitting. Like, that's what radicalized me. We of course have solar panels on the roof, and it did take basically a year to get all the permits and everything.
Yeah.
So, okay. Matthias Weyland loves having people
Matthias
Weyland loves having people ask about his balcony. A pair of solar panels hang from the railing, casting a sheen of dark blue against the red brick of his apartment building. They're connected to a microinverter plugged into a wall outlet and feed electricity directly into his home. On a sunny day, he'll produce enough power to supply half his family's needs. So these are...
Sorry, you two kids. You have to go cold today.
Yeah.
You can't shower.
So basically, these are solar panels, and they just hook over the balcony railing, and then they got a plug coming out of them, and you plug that plug into your house, and it feeds electricity into your house. So, we have like a wall battery thing that stores our solar energy.
It has like a buffer. So it's a consistent supply.
Yeah. So when the sun goes down, like, we keep getting power.
For a little while.
For a while. We use it all up now. Someday we'll put more solar panels on, maybe. Though, no tax credit anymore, so maybe not.
Right.
Anyway.
Uncertain.
But yeah, so we have a battery, and I think most systems in the U.S. are like that, where you've got a battery that stores the power. So these don't do that. You only get to use the solar power when the sun is shining on them, and it feeds into your house. But it's pretty cool. So it's like $550, and you can literally buy them at the grocery store, and you just bring them home, and it's like a little 1-hour DIY project, and
pretty easy.
You got solar power. Okay, so this is sort of about how, like, tons and tons of people have installed these things. Germany's added 200 megawatts of balcony solar. They're kind of limited. So regulations limit each system to 800 watts, which is enough to power a small fridge or charge a laptop. But the cumulative effect is nudging the country towards its clean energy goals. I think this is great, right? Yeah. And people are like, I can like charge my bike or like have the washing machine run when the sun is shining. And so it kind of talks about like how this works. But I want to kind of come down to the article part of like how people are using this. Yeah, let me pause it so I can find the right spot. All right, here's the quote. This Matthias says, I love the feeling of charging the bike when the sun is shining or having the washing machine run when the sun is shining and to know that it comes directly from the sun. It's a small step you can take as a tenant. And I was thinking about this, right? These only work when the sun is shining. You don't get to save the power for later.
Right.
So there's a game to play here, right? If you don't want to pay for like the electricity for your washing machine, you can run it when the sun is shiny.
Oh, I'm aware of this game.
Yeah. And so this is why I wanted to talk about this, because I was reading this article and I was sharing it with you over the phone. And I was like, fuck, if there were ever a system designed to play to the mentality of Germans, it is this system. You don't get to save this energy. You need to find the ideal time.
Oh, I do this.
I know. This is why I want to talk about it.
I don't want to do laundry right now. There's no sun. I'm going to do it tomorrow.
Yeah. Except we store ours.
A little bit.
But yeah, but Ingo's like, I mean, I think I've told on the podcast that like I came out of my office once and all the ceiling fans were off. And I was like, why are the ceiling fans off?
Just testing something out.
Because there's an app.
I was just testing something.
An app comes with our solar system so you can see like.
It's terrible.
Ingo like just stares at that app all the time.
I don't want this knowledge, but I can't not look at it.
But like, can you imagine if we didn't have the battery buffer and it's just like right now there's solar power?
Yes, I'd rush as soon as the sun comes out from behind the clouds. I would rush to the washer and turn it on.
Yeah.
And the dryer would only go when it's a sunny day. Vacuuming. Oh my goodness.
Like, Inga, why are our clothes all wet? There's no sun right now.
I can't make roasties today, guys. There's no sun.
We're only drying tomorrow it's going to be sunny, Jen, and I'll dry the clothes then.
It's bad. It's bad. What was the joke that we saw on the internet the other day that was like the secret?
Yes, what was this joke?
The Allies.
Oh, the recycling. Recycling was the thing the Allies introduced to keep the Germans from militarizing again.
Yes, because they're so into the recycling system, and there's you separate green glass and brown glass and white glass, and you know there's certain times and there's certain.
Pull the labels off your yogurt cups.
You have certain bands that you have to attach to the trash can to show that you've paid for this recycling load, and it's a terrible system. I mean, it's so burdensome. So
German. And they're like, this is why they're not militarizing again, because all their attention, like basically we're keeping them occupied with the recycling.
Germans have their house full of little piles of recycling and compost, and oh no, that's plastic, but it's the wrong kind of plastic for recycling, but it's also not compost, but there's just piles of stuff, and so you end up with these like little handfuls that are brought to the cans. It's such a pain. I go to my parents' house and it's just like, oh no, that doesn't go in there. No, you got to put that here. And they have just like a pile of paper over there. And they're like, okay, well, that's the pile of paper. And then bring it to the recycling when it's a bigger pile, a big enough pile. And it's like, oh, that banana peel. Ooh, I don't know if that's organic because it might not compost the right way. But I don't know if it's trash. I don't know what we have to do. We'll just keep it for a while and think about it. We'll think about it.
Eventually, like the
council
flies
of
eat
elders, the council of elders has to decide if this is the right kind of trash.
Oh my God! Single stream recycling would blow their mind.
Oh, they would refuse. They'd be like, no, this is not recycling. This is trash.
And I'm like, you see the sticker on the top of this giant blue bin? It says everything goes in here.
No, I have to wash it. I have to fold it. I have to label it, and I have to categorize it, and then I can recycle it. It really does take up a lot of national energy and effort and time.
Yep.
And this is after in Germany, every store has to take back the packaging that they provide in their store. All right, this is why Aldi, whatever you call it.
We call it Aldi.
Doesn't have a lot of packaging because if they did, in Germany, they'd have to take it back anyway. Like if you used to be CDs, right? They had those ridiculous CD boxes.
Oh yeah, those big long ones.
You used to be able to unpack your CD outside the store and bring the thing back inside. And the stores were like, "This is ridiculous. We're not packing those things anymore."
Yeah.
Now it's our problem? Oh no. So the packaging in Germany is much more limited than here.
Yeah.
Already,
which I think is good.
And then they still find all this recycling stuff. I don't understand.
Germans, man.
Hey, it's a project.
It's just funny because like you're so American, except like when it gets to the solar app.
Oh,
then
the solar app.
The solar app plays.
Oh, a note though, and what he said too about renters, right? Most Germans don't have a house, so they live in an apartment. Apartments don't have a roof, right? You don't have a roof access the way Americans do, but you mostly have a balcony. So anyone can use these things to hang off their balcony.
I mean, I totally would have done that when I had an apartment.
Totally. Why not?
Yeah.
I have a cousin who was like, he now got an air conditioner because he's like, and I know it uses all this power and it's not very green, but I have solar panels so I can just power it from the sun. He was like, yeah. And also it allows him to breathe and sleep.
Yeah. I do love the fact that like we run our air conditioner all the time. I mean, you have to, right here, all the time, all year. Okay. But like, we have solar power, so like, I don't actually feel like
it runs
I accept
the
no
most.
shame.
It runs the most when the sun is shining the most.
That's right. Nobody can shame me for my power usage here. I have solar panels.
Nobody shames anyone in America for their power usage anyway. It's cheap. Power's so cheap here.
Well, people do. Fuck those guys though. Okay. That's all I got. You got anything for Ingo Corner?
Nothing philosophical.
Wow. Okay.
Thanks to everyone for their contributions. I still enjoy going to the mailbox. And I mean, I'll try not to order all the guac plushies for myself.
Oh my God, we already have one.
I'll leave some for the fans. But you know, it's tempting. I can make ourselves rich, Jen. I can make ourselves rich. This is like a Vegas scheme. I think if I buy them all, I can make us all the money back.
No.
I think that's how it works.
No.
There's some kind of multiplier.
Absolutely not. No. But
Step 3 is profits.
I will be putting up forms for people who need a plushie and then people who want to donate a plushie. Like we've done this before.
It's a great tradition already.
Yeah, if you're not in a financial place to afford a Guaco plushie right now, you can put yourself on a list and then we randomly pick people, though oftentimes the whole list gets taken care of, and then other people who are like, I'll buy a plushie for someone who can't get them. And then Ingo sits at his computer and puts in like 150 orders for plushies. Because we keep everybody's information.
Those are just my own. Oh no, this is for donations. Oh yeah, sure.
Yeah, so like if you want a plushie, you give us your address and everything.
I'll try not to buy them out.
And then the people who donate one, like they send the money to us, and then we spend that money on the plushies. So like if you request one, we don't give your address to anybody else. We just handle it ourselves.
Right.
Which means Ingo has to individually place 150 different orders.
A labor of love. It's okay.
Yeah, no, you're very good at it.
Yeah. Oh, the sun's shining. I got to do some laundry.
Okay. Well, thanks,
everyone. The laundry is not running and the sun is shining, Jen. We are wasting energy.
I got to say, when you're
wasting it.
The laundry's almost always running. When Ingo's not here, I'm like, why is it so quiet? Oh, there's no laundry here. True facts. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening. And until next time, Slava Ukraini. And don't bet anyone unless they ask you to.
That's right.
Bye.
Bye.